Darius Robinson, an edge out of Missouri, who is a very big man at 6'5", 285, 34.5-inch long arms, and that's coming off of the edge. But what stands out about Darius is when you look at the other edge rushers in this class, you have technicians with their hands like Latu or Braylon Trice. You've got the twitchy edge guys like Jared Verse. You've got Dallas Turner, who's got a little bit of everything in his bag to a bit of a degree. But as far as the really supremely talented power edges go, this guy may be the best of the bunch. And I think that this is a very, very interesting position to take a look at for the Seahawks and them targeting in this draft. Because when you hear about a guy like Joel Klatt, who's covered football and talked with Mike McDonald and understands very much what he's looking for in the defense, referencing the need for hard edges. That's the term that he used. And what he's meaning by that is the big edges that can set that edge. They're not going to get moved. That there's not a tackle in the game that can move that edge off of the spot. The Seattle Seahawks at one time 10 years ago actually had a player that they put into this position and who flourished in this role. And that was the big old Mr. Red Bryant, son-in-law of one Mr. Jacob Green, former Seahawks legend. And his job was to come out there in early downs and set that hard edge, and you were not going to be able to run to Red side. He was going to manhandle tackles out there. And that's what you get with Darius Robinson. It isn't just so much that he's got a bull rush. Yeah, he's got that. It's that he's taking tackles and he's flinging them side to side to side until he finally decides, okay, now comes the swim move. Okay, now I'm just going to knock his hands off and get on to the quarterback. Very, very tough guy to block up front. Coaches in college football that were on the opposition talked about him endlessly about how hard of a problem he was to deal with. He's got the legit power. When you look at necessarily his combine testing scores at the 21 reps, I don't know if you guys heard with him, but he of course said a little bit, he had some disparaging remarks to say about the bench press, that it's on this kind of soft ground, that when you go to lift the bench, there's a little bit of give to it where you need that hard ground when you're lifting the bench to get your real leverage into it a little bit. He's also got the 34.5-inch long arms. And anybody out there that's been in a weight room and has seen those guys that have the little arms that can get on there and they're just, they're throwing those 315-pound plates up. When you got that longer arm, you got a lot longer way to go than those little stubby arm guys. You gotta let that thing travel all the way back down and all the way back up. It's more to get through that. So he's better than the 21 reps. He's stronger than the 21 reps that he presented. This could be a type of guy that you have almost a shock to the system and the fan base, potentially, of a guy who could be picked at like 16 even, that would totally throw the fan base into disarray on it. But I think it's very possible because he stands out in that skill that he brings that is a very much a necessity in this defense. And in a lot of respects is sort of a little, not where the defense begins, but maybe one of its beginning places that it looks to structure itself. Hard edges. What do the Seahawks have right now? You have Uchenna Nwosu, who can set a good edge, certainly. Boye Mafe is an excellent edge setter. But then what happens when we get to 3 and 4? We got Derek Hall, who was not setting very many edges very well last year. And you have Darrell Taylor, who hasn't set an edge in his life. So you do have a little bit of a thinness here at this position. And looking forward into the future on this, moving into next offseason, you do have a theoretical way of getting out from under the Uchenna Nwosu deal if you want to at that point. If they're looking to clear that cap space, and they would have the ready-made guy waiting in the wings here with a guy like Darius Robinson, who can play essentially the Jadeveon Clowney role within this defense that JD played in with the Ravens last year. So a guy that I know that not a lot of people are talking about for the Hawks or connecting him to the Hawks, but this is a guy that's got as good a chance as any edge, I think, because this is one of those missing parts of this game. I've got 2 of these power edges here that are going to be on my list as far as sleepers go. I know he's a very prime prospect on many boards, but on other boards, people are kind of selling low on him because he's a 4.95 edge that has a 1.73 split. What are you going to do with that? Well, it's when you watch the tape, turn that on first and foremost, and he's going to show you exactly what he's going to do.